And if you are lying down, then join us in a seated position, bringing yourself upright. And start to get a sense of yourself a little bit more. So bringing your hands to the top of your thighs, just give yourself a little loving touch. Rubbing over the thighs onto the lower legs. And even bringing your legs slightly out in front of you, letting the legs bend and getting a little bit more area to just bring some attention to front and back of the legs, insides and outsides, maybe even coming down to the feet. And if it's comfortable for you, then giving your feet a little rub, moving your body as you like in order to contact some of these areas, maybe giving your heels a little squeeze, giving the feet a squeeze, giving your shins and lower legs a little squeeze and up into the thighs. Maybe even giving a little playful pat. And then starting to bring that attention and loving touch to your belly. Moving however you like, maybe just moving the hands in a clockwise circle. Moving your hands to your sides, kind of getting a sense of the sides of the body, however that can work out for you. Choosing your own adventure, finding your own way of making contact. And however feels comfortable for you, make some contact with the back of your body. Breathing however feels good, maybe breathing a little bit deeper as you just start to become aware. Maybe some of these places start to come online a little bit more than you had been previously aware of. And then bringing your hands now actually to the chest. Maybe just the upper chest, whatever feels good. You're in your own spaces, so make whatever contact feels good. Into the chest, maybe coming even to the sternum, giving a little extra rub to the sternum. The ribs connect here, got a lot of muscles, a lot of stuff that maybe gets curled inward a little bit more. Often we're curled forward, tighten up here a little bit more as we're driving or on our phones, or just maybe it's cold and so you've been huddling up a little bit more. So perhaps invite a little bit of extra attention, a little extra rub to the chest, opening up. And then however feels good, can you bring some attention to the upper back? And so as you're doing this, you're starting to move the arms around a little bit. So I invite you, find some different movements. Maybe you give a little pat on the back. Maybe it feels okay to bring the back of your hand to contact into the shoulder blades, whatever feels good. Just play whatever. And start to move that into your arms. Start to give some loving attention to these arms that are always here for us, hopefully anyway. Coming down even into the hands, rubbing the hands together. What feels good? Would a little slappiness be something that feels good? If not, then don't. Again, really clap the hands together, really bringing some awareness. Maybe you need some extra energy. Give that a little shake. And even bring the legs out in front of you, or they can be wherever you like, but start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Either just making fists or scrunching the toes in and then stretching the fingers and the toes out or wiggling them. Now, as you wiggle your fingers, notice the movement that you probably have there. And then for a moment, check in with your toes as you try to wiggle your toes. How's that working? I invite you to, at another time, I mean, you could, if you want to spend the rest of the time here today checking in with your toes, I invite you to bring attention into each toe and notice what kind of movement you can get, if any. Now, I don't know that we'll ever be able to wiggle our toes the same way we can wiggle our fingers, but sometimes it's interesting to bring some attention and awareness and see what can happen just with awareness. So I've got my heels pressing into the floor and the toes are pointed up. So start to bring some movement into the ankles, into the wrists. Your arms and legs can be however you like. And then if you'd like a little bit more playfulness, then maybe lean back a little bit, and perhaps you lean back onto your arms and then give a little wiggle, maybe a little bicycle of the legs, or just kind of extending, or maybe you just lean back so you can do a little bit more wiggle of the legs. Listen to your energy level, listen to your body today. And so then maybe bring the arms into it. You can do a little, some rowing here. Imagine that you're on a rowing machine, if you've ever been on one of those, or just imagine that you're rowing. And you could maybe row the tiniest little boat and go the other way. Maybe you bring your legs into it as well. And maybe you start to make that boat or the movement, the motion a little bit bigger. Feel free to have fun with this. And then take it the other way. Maybe spiraling a little bit inward, making things a little bit smaller. And then maybe leaning back a little bit, can you get everything into it? Just doing a shake. This can be a great thing to do just to kind of shake the doldrums off, get a little bit more energy. All right, and then bring yourself back to center.